Bruce, can you just talk about the lift that the penalty kill gave you and what Derek Forbett has meant to this team in this series?
Yeah, I mean, he's really stepped up. It's been a series where we've been killing a lot of penalties, and hopefully that is stemmed a little as we go to Carolina for Game 7. We got to stay out of the box, got to do a better job, with our sticks, check with our feet. But in the meantime, he's been excellent on it. Shooting lanes, clears were better tonight, or real good. I think, how many did we have? 6? So I think it was there was one of them in the second period. We had a tough time clearing, and got us in a bit of trouble. I think when we clear pucks, we're pretty good. You get fresh legs over, and our guys are pretty good. So when we get a little tired, it's like our power play. If they don't clear pucks, we can be dangerous. You start to get teams in bad spots. So. But I like Derek's game. He's been really good with Cliffy. I think all of March, they've solidified themselves as a pair. That's why they've predominantly stayed in. I think they're playing to their strengths. They're keeping it simple with their puck movement, and they're physical. And they've each scored a goal the last 2 games, which is a nice bonus. But defending well, against whatever line they're assigned against. Tonight it was Stahl's line. They're a big line. They've been doing a lot of scoring for them, so credit to them.
You said you wanted to get secondary scoring, and you got it tonight. What's it going to take to get this momentum into Carolina and get a victory there in such a hostile environment?
Yeah, I mean, listen, we got to win now one road game. That's what's in front of us. We knew that when we started the series. You have to win a road game, at least one, if we want to advance. So here it is. And the momentum is what it is for tonight. Guys will be feeling good about themselves, but Carolina will be ready. I mean, that's playoff hockey. Usually that game the game you just played, you try to put behind you as quickly as possible. Take what you can from it. Get ready for the next one. So that's how I see both teams. So, yeah, I mean, it's great to have the momentum, but I don't think it'll phase them. They've been through some playoffs now, and they'll be ready to go.
Bruce, you mentioned a little bit this morning, but balancing out the lines today, given what your top line had produced on home ice in 3 and 4 with the last change, can you just describe the thinking that you guys went through to go back to the old January 1st lines?
Well, I mean, just to go back real quick, we came out of Carolina and, I didn't think we played poorly up there. We didn't finish well early, and then the game sort of got away from us. We got into penalty trouble the second game. There's a lot of talk about what happened earlier in the year. It just, we had to sort of block out some noise, and sometimes that's difficult for players. And so we went back to a formula we knew has been successful for us at times, and to see if we could just, use that line as a, to galvanize the team a little bit. I think the whole line needed it as well as the team, and Marsh and Pasta all of a sudden start clicking, and Marsh finds his game again, Pasta. So that was the thinking when we did it. And today was more about how we'd been successful early in the year. We got ourselves back in the series. It didn't go as well for us up there in Carolina. So let's get back to the group. We, including Frederick, Lindholm coming in helps, but that was the main reason. This is what we had success with, fellas. We walked through why we're good. Certain parts of the game, our D-zone coverage had to be better. Our shot blocking, our sticks in the lane for to take away some of their offense. And those 4 lines have all done it. And done it well, so that was the task in front of them. It allows Halla and Hall, they just seem to respond better with Pasta. We've tried a lot of different guys in that line. Fluto hasn't gone as well. Pasta's a world-class player. I think he just gives them, some confidence to play. Jake's been fine this series, competed hard. We've moved him around. No issue there, and he's played with Bergie and Marsh a lot. Like I said, putting Freddie back in. A heavier body with Coyle and just give him some continuity. You change lines for a reason through the course of a playoffs. You hope you make the right call for the right reasons, and tonight it worked out for us, and we'll do what we have to do up in Carolina in Game 7.
Bruce, you still haven't seen a whole heck of a lot of the Lindholm-McAvoy pairing yet. Their chemistry seems to be top-notch. What would you attribute that to?
Well, I think they're just both good players. So they're naturally, and they both have an offensive mindset as well. They defend well, so I think they read off each other well, when to go, knowing that the other guys, when Charlie has the puck, Lindy knows, okay, if I had the puck in that situation, where where would I want my partner to go? So they have that natural sort of read off each other to get out of their end, get through the neutral zone. Like I said, mostly they're just good players with good hockey IQ that want the puck. Some guys just don't, they're more defensive minded, don't really want it a lot. They get a little, those two both want it. So when you want the puck, you're sort of presenting yourself to where you think is a good spot to get it, and I think that's what happens with them both.
Another lineup call and sticking with Jeremy in goal. Can you just speak to, obviously, it paying off and how he helped you particularly early in the game and just what you've seen in his evolution, particularly as you go into a Game 7?
Well, he's been good for us. We talked about the other day. We challenged a little bit early on. Timely saves early in the game are important, if we can get a lead, and we did tonight. Got the saves. Good for Jeremy. Typically responds when we address certain things with him. He did tonight. Nice to see us score some goals for him as well. I mean, that's a big part of no matter what goalie's in there. If you don't get offense for him, that it's pretty difficult. He's a young kid that doesn't seem to get fazed by the time of year. We'll see how it goes going forward. It's the biggest one of the year, obviously. I think everyone loves a Game 7, and we'll see how it goes from there. But he was just a guy, and he's played pretty well the last 2 games, especially at home. He won a couple games at home, so we talked about this before. How often can you run with them? But when you're up against it, you're going to have to sort of do what you got to do, and that's what happened with this particular game. And I'm glad he wasn't under barrage all night. Too many penalties again. That's real tough on the goaltenders. They're fighting to see the puck the whole time. Other than that, I thought we were pretty good in front of them.
Bruce, with the way your team responded tonight, how do you like your team in a 1-game season now in a place where they've had difficult times?
I love it, Dan. This is what you play for. Guys should be excited. Game 7 Stanley Cup playoffs, home or road. We'd rather be at home, not going to lie to you, but we'd play them on Mars if we had to. I think right now we just want to get after it, and that's what it's all about. And I'm sure they'd say the same thing. I know they're disappointed now, but a Game 7 tomorrow morning, they wake up, they're going to be excited to play, and as it should be a great game.
Hall, and Pasternak. Hall, and Pasternak can be such a dangerous line off the rush. You would, mention that you'd like to see them, play more in zone, be more physical, kind of add that element. Are you satisfied with that part of it tonight?
Yeah, I don't know if it's necessarily mad physical, but it's more puck possession, absorb hits to make, like Hall's goal, right? That's puck recovery, work to get a puck back. It gets moved around, low to high, whatever, and you're presenting yourself in the slot. Hall had a good tip in the second period, they almost scored on. So some goals like that, not just, a 2-on-1 or a 3-on-2 when the game opens up a bit, those tight checking games, you got to be able to do that. Work to get a puck back, create a turnover in the forecheck, hang on to it, support each other. That's playoff hockey. And we talked a lot about that, Taylor, last year when he first got here through the Islanders series. So he's aware of it a little bit, and Eric's new to us. He's been in the playoffs, so he knows it, and Pasta's obviously been through it. So, they recognize it, and they came through tonight in that regard. Had some looks early in the series, we just didn't finish. That's part of it, right? When you finish better, other things get glossed over. Tonight they finished better, and it's what they need. Eventually, we needed some guys to step up and score. Well, we got it tonight. Charlie Coyle on the power play is a big goal, and that front goal to extend the lead. So a lot of different things. But that line, like I said, I'm glad they scored that way. It'll make them feel better about their game, give them some confidence that they can do it again, on Saturday.
Bruce, along the same lines as Dan's question, just going into a Game 7, how does it help having guys with that experience in this situation, like a Berge or a Marshy?
Yeah, they've got those guys too, Joe. So I think it'll help both teams if the game, for example, tonight it's 2-0. We're just kind of a broken play. They scored 2-1. All of a sudden, third period 2-1. I thought our guys, it was probably one of the best things we did tonight was respond after they made it 2-1. We earlier this year we'd have to fight through that longer, and right away we came right back down, played the right way, managed the puck, got a puck back, scored the next goal. It wasn't a high risk, so that's a good sign, which will carry over into Game 7. Should it happen again? If they score the first goal up there, you got to keep playing. Or if something bad happens, penalty calls you don't like, a 5-on-3, whatever, you got to keep playing. So I think that'll help us a lot. And then obviously the younger guys are getting a taste of it as well, and they got to get pulled along by these older guys. And Swayman is that guy. He's the only unknown when it comes to that. Ranta has. I'm not sure he's played in the game 7 either, by the sounds of it. So you got 2 goaltenders that it's new to them. So like I said, should be great.
Heading to Game 7, obviously the results here and in Carolina have been polar opposites. Is there anything specifically that you've noticed that the team has been doing well here that you've not done down in Carolina that you'd like to obviously bring with you?
We timely power play goals here helped a little more than up there. They got a couple the other night. Their power play had struggled, and they generated some good looks, scored. Or in the flip side, penalty kill, I think that's been an issue at times for both teams. And when you win, it's usually good, and it was very good for us tonight. We got, like I said, very important kills in the second period. So that special teams flip is one thing that certainly has tilted the series on home ice for both teams. So, hopefully, as I said earlier, we need to make sure we stay out of the box up there so that doesn't become a factor. Play the game 5-on-5 as much as possible. And other than that, we had some puck luck tonight. I think in the second period they hit a couple of crossbars. I mean, other nights those goes, you know what I mean? So that comes into play too. We had a little puck luck around the front of the net, the second goal, and they had. I thought they had some up there at times. So some of that just happens to have happened in this series where the home team's getting a few breaks as well. Thank you, Coach. Yep.